back and thank you for watching. Today I'm going to be testing out Longline blazers, and I want to start by apologising because this video hasn't quite turned out the way I hoped it had. I was wanting to show you lots of spring styling for them. They're an item that I wear year round. Anyone who's been watching for a while or reads my blog or follows me on Instagram or anything like that will know they are, along with denim, probably the biggest staple in my wardrobe and my most worn item. And I wear them year round, and as I've just been styling them so much through the winter, I was hoping to show you lots of spring options here. However, it's been snowing for a week, so this has just really shown how much of a layering piece they can be because it has been so cold. And yeah, I didn't really foresee it being this bad. Even though the forecast said it, you know, and you don't believe the forecast. So yeah, and maybe I could do a separate video on how I would style Longline blazers for spring and summer, so let me know if you'd be interested in that, because these are all very wintry outfits I've been wearing through the past week because of the bloody weather. Anyway, that aside, I have 5 blazers here from the high street to high end. I remember when I first really got into Longline blazers, they were really hard to find on the high street. However, now, especially with the influx of the checked blazer trend, they really are everywhere, and there's a huge range. So I've got different colours here, but they're all Longline. They're not all double-breasted. But let's start off at the cheapest end. I've still got the tags on this. Man alive, I wore this last night with the tags on. Give me strength. I got this off ASOS by a brand called Vero Moda. I have it in a UK size 8, and it was £45. The composition is 77% polyester, 19% viscose and 4% elastane. Now the reason I liked the look of this online is because it's just a really classic black blazer with a really nice little fit down the front, but with slightly poofy shoulders, which I thought was a really nice update to a classic black blazer. The classic black one that I have that I wear the most at the moment is from the Frankie store. And this looked like it had a really similar fit through the body, but then just this extra detailing down the sleeves, which I thought would be a nice little update. Let's just hold back on the actual thoughts on those. Excuse that noise outside. Yes, that was my thinking when I saw it online. It does feel super lightweight. It does feel kind of cheap. The fabric isn't lovely. It's creasing really easily. This has just been folded up on the bed and it's still kind of creased. But what I do really like is the front section. Yeah, I think it hangs really nicely off the body. So that was Vero Moda at £45. Next up, now there was a lot of, sorry that the bins are being emptied and it's really loud outside. I hope you can't hear it too much. But there's lots of blazers between like the £70 to £90 mark on the high street, which I personally think is quite expensive for the high street. The next two are coming in around there. The first is Mango, which is £69.99. Again, I ordered this off ASOS. I got this one in a UK 10 just because ASOS recommended that sizing for me, and they were right, and I don't know how they knew, but this one fits really well. The composition is 64% polyester, 34% viscose and 2% elastane. And again, it has, well not again, but it's got this very popular check. It's a lot darker than a lot of them on the high street at the moment. I just opted for that. A lot of you guys might have seen my Stella McCartney blazer, which is more of a coat than a blazer really. It's so thick. So I've already got ticked off the light grey checked blazers in my collection. So a dark grey one was perfect. The only thing I'm not keen on in this is that the print is like a print on it rather than a weave through the jacket. From afar, or like walking down the street, I really don't think you could tell that, but up close I'm kind of like, nah, I wish it was actually woven into the jacket, but we can't have everything. The fit of this is really nice. It has padded shoulders, which is something really flattering in a Longline blazer. Really nice long lapels. Just have a really good fit. I'm really pleased with how it fits actually. And the size 10 has been perfect, so maybe go one size up for this one because normally I'd be an 8. And then this one I haven't actually worn yet, so it's still got a tag on too. This one's from ZARA. This was, how was this, £79.99? Yeah, £79.99. I swear, I don't really shop at ZARA that much anymore for this reason. It's getting more and more expensive, and we'll see how I get on with this one. As I said, I haven't worn it yet, but in my opinion, the quality's not improved to match that price increase at all. I think now £80 at ZARA it's a lot to say what that shopping experience is as well, i.e. most of the things are on the floor and it's just not a very pleasant shop to go around. Like, online and stuff, the styling's amazing and everything, but then when you order online and it gets here and it's just not the same as it looked. Anyway, I was really surprised at how much this was. So I got this one in a size small. It's this really nice minty green for spring, pastels for spring, blah blah blah, but very spring-like as well. I really liked the really light cream tortoiseshell buttons. Details like that are really nice. However, this one feels like it's about to fall off. In fact, if I do that, it's going to fall off. So that's great. We've almost lost a button already. It does feel a lot thicker than the others. The composition of this is 69% polyester, 30% viscose and 1% elastane. So the same more or less as the previous two, but it has a thicker feel to it, and I think that's because it's got a texture running through it. It has a texture running through it. Don't know how else to describe that. So it does make it feel more expensive and thicker and just a bit weightier. Like the oh Jesus, I like the fit of it. I don't think it's quite as long as the mango one, maybe. You'll see in the cutaways better. And then I do really like this pointed little lapel here as well. But yeah, as I said, I think £80, sorry, is a hell of a lot for Zara. Okay, doing another price increase to one of my favourite high street stores, as we know, and other stories. This was £165. This is the only one that was sent to me. Yes, this was sent to me. The composition of the, what size have I got? I haven't written that down for some reason. I've got a European 38, that's a 10, I think. Yeah, it's a 10. Same as the mango one. It's 54% polyester, 45% wool and 1% elastane. So it's quite a big price jump to £165. And you get some wool in there, which is nice. Doesn't feel that much different to the mango one. So this one doesn't really have much of a texture running through it. It does feel different. It just feels thicker, I would say. And again, it has the padded shoulders like the mango one, even more padded. And it's just a small detail that makes a longline blazer look really flattering for some reason. This is quite a boxy fit compared to the others, so it would be completely up to you if you preferred something that did have a little bit of fitting through it. This is very straight down. The things I really like about it is the fact that the buttons are the same fabric as the blazer, small little details which make it look really, really lovely. And yeah, it does look more expensive. It's got a vent in the back. This is the first one that I've had with a vent in the back. Small details like that on tailoring do definitely make a difference. However, it is one hell of a price jump from the Zara and the mango ones, really. But then I would consider Under the Stories like the next price level up, but we'll see whether or not it's worth £100 more basically than the mango one, which is the one in terms of texture I'd compare it to most closely. And then finally we take, oh, I've lost my page. No. Yes, I found the page. We take a huge jump up to Tibi. Now, in the realm of high-end blazers, the sky's the limit. Obviously, if you start looking at the Balenciaga, there was a gorgeous Balenciaga one, that's why I'm saying this, which was like the thick end of £2 grand, I think. And I was like, oh, amazing. And there's a brand called Blase, or maybe it's I don't know, Blas Milano. I'm not sure, that I butchered that for sure. They sell it on Matches. Their blazers are absolutely beautiful. And they're super expensive as well, like £1,500. The Stella McCartney one I have was sent to me by Net-a-Porter in the summer, and I think that's, maybe like a £1,300 blazer. And I absolutely love it, but I pitched myself a little bit lower this time and went with Tibi, which is £745. I mean, still huge sums of money, but I wanted to keep on the lower side of the £1,000 just to see if you could get something that was premium but still felt as wonderful as the mega pricey ones. So this was Tibi, as I said. I got this in a US 4. Let me double check that's correct, which is a UK 8. 4, yeah, UK 8 is a 4. This is 85% virgin wool and 15% silk. The print of this is what sold me. So it's a beige check, which is a little bit different for me because I don't have a beige blazer, despite having a blazer collection that could rival anybody. And it has a yellow and blue running through it. The colour is what totally sold me to it online. Again, it's got the shoulder pads, a good detail and long-line blazer. It has a little breast pocket here. Just the Stories don't have a breast pocket. No, this is the only one with a breast pocket. And it is not double-breasted, which is quite different for me as well. And the other difference of this to my other ones is the lapel is a lot shorter. So the cut of it is almost like a really classic, traditional blazer you would expect to find in a two-piece suit, where the blazer would be cropped, you know, the kind of thing I mean. but then the length of it's much longer. So this is different for me, and all the other ones have long lapels that come down, whereas this is much shorter, and it's a detail that I actually really like, because it makes it feel even more androgynous and even more workwear like, but like it's been updated in a day-to-day way through the print and the colour and the length and everything like that. And as I said, just a bit different. So again, it's got the vent at the back, and it's just a beautiful fit. Now let's get into watching me wrap myself up in 1,000 layers and wear blazers relentlessly through the snow. Hi guys, let me put my hat back on. I had a hat on so you can see the complete look. I've had on this Tibi blazer today. It's actually the second time I've worn it. I've worn it on a night out last week. I'll insert a photo here. I really like this blazer. I really love the colours in it. It's super lightweight, so it doesn't feel as expensive as like my Stella McCartney one does, which I know is not in this video, so I don't want to mention it too much, but it's because it's lighter weight, it doesn't have the super expensive feel. However, it's meant to be a different kind of blazer. It's not as coat-like as some of the others, and it's definitely a spring and summer piece, but the colours in it, the slight sheen on it, the cut of it and everything is super classic. I really like it. I just went in ZARA and picked up the ZARA one that's been in this video. And there was some that have the same sort of colour palette. There's checks everywhere at the moment, but there is definitely something about this one that makes it look and feel more expensive in my opinion. So far I'm absolutely loving it. And I know I'm going to wear this so much through the summer, just the colours in it, because I just like the blues and the yellows, everything. Anyway, it's definitely not summer yet, it's a beautiful day, but it's fucking Baltic. Had on my Topshop Naked Boy hat because my hair is greasy. I'm really out of breath as well, I've just walked up the stairs, and no matter how many times I walk up those stairs in my flat, they nearly kill me every single fucking time. Jumper from Topshop, I've got a t-shirt underneath because it's so cold, which is from Barber, I think. Levi vintage jeans and my Church's boots. This is such a good way to show you guys an outfit, seriously. But you've seen this from me before. It's what I wear all the time. And then I took my Weekday hammock bag. Hey guys, it's been freezing cold and snowing in London today. Not blazer weather, but I've gone with it all the same. I've had on the mango one today with nasty gal jeans, Church's boots, Topshop belt, Stories knit, Frankie Store giant scarf, and I've got thermals on. I've really liked this. It's actually got soaked in the snow as well, and it's kind of looking and feeling okay. I really like the colours of it. I do wish it was more of a tweed texture rather than just having the tweed pattern on it. That would definitely make me like it a lot more, or at least if it had a kind of just more of a texture to it basically. But I think the shape of it and the cut is really nice. It's got a lot lower lapels than the Tibi one, which is just a case of preference, and most of my blazers have longer lapels like this one, and I do think it's really flattering as well. So yeah, I've liked this one. Again, it's a super lightweight one, so I think I will end up wearing a lot through spring and summer. I prefer the Tibi one because of the colours and because it has just a more expensive feel to it. I think this is a really good blazer for a really good price. Oh my gosh guys, I've had to layer up today. It's snowing again, it's so cold. I've had on the Under the Stories green one, underneath Under the Stories faux fur coat, with some Topshop jeans and a Lyra Duke turtleneck and some old Under the Stories boots. It's really boring looks, I'm so sorry. They're also similar, the weather makes it so difficult because I'm just re-wearing like everything I've worn throughout the winter at the moment. Also just walked up those stairs, which kills me. I really do like this blazer. I like the fact it's got slightly boxier shoulders, gives it an interesting shape. I think given the fact it's like, what was this, 160 quid this one I think? Seems a lot for what it is when I compare it to like the mango one yesterday. I do prefer this one, and there are lots of really lovely details on it. The material feels nicer, the buttons are lovely. As I said, I love the shape and the shoulders, but whether or not it's worth a whole £100 more, it's not cheap, that is it? It's a lot. So I love it. I'm going to see how I feel about the two other mid-price ones to see whether or not I really think this is worth the extra money that they charge for it. Hey guys, coming to you with 1,000 layers on. I genuinely picked the worst possible week to test blazers, but obviously I have still been wearing them, just maybe not appreciating how they look just as much as if I could wear them without another layer on top. So I'm really sorry about it, but yeah, a bit stuck. So I've just had on my Joseph coat over this one today. This one's all from ASOS, but what brand is it again? Completely forgotten. Vero Moda. I flipping would go as far as to say I strongly dislike this blazer. The sleeves offend me on a personal level. Just because I think they would kind of look alright without anything on underneath, but with something on underneath it just looks like it's too small. And the ruchiness and the billowiness in the sleeves isn't enough to make it look like it's meant to be like that. It just looks like a really ill-fitting piece. At first I thought it might be like a nice extra detail to a really classic double-breasted black blazer, because through the rest of it I think the fitting is really nice. I have a double-breasted black blazer, say that fast 10 times, from the Frankie store, which is considerably more expensive than this, and through the body I like the fit and the look of this as much as that one. It's just, it's so let down by the sleeves, and I so hoped that this could be like my Frankie store blazer, but with a bit of an update that made a black blazer seem more interesting, but it just has failed miserably. I've had it on with a turtleneck from a brand called Minimum, got it off Zalando ages ago. My new Weekday Jeans. I'm full of cheese and bread, so I've just been out for a friend's birthday dinner, and my church's boots again. Yeah, least favourite so far, hands down. Oh guys, use a tripod. I have the ZARA one on today. Needless to say, it's still freezing. Broken record here, but as just British people can't go a day in any sort of adverse weather, whether that be abnormally warm or abnormally cold, without mentioning it. And this is just endlessly shocking. So I've had on the ZARA blazer today, under and other stories Faux coat. This is one, again, that I'm excited to wear for spring. I think to say it's more expensive than the Mango one, there's definitely no better quality with it at all. I think in fact the shape of it is a lot less flattering than the Mango one, which has just got a much nicer structure. The lapel keeps sitting strange here, as you can see, but I do really like the pointed detail of the lapels here. Kept noticing like the cuffs rolling out a bit as well. So I mean, the quality really isn't impressive at all. The Mango one definitely is a bit better, but I do slightly prefer the feel of the fabric. That being said, just because it's got, as I said, a bit more of a texture to it, but I think the way it hangs definitely doesn't look any nicer. Anyway, I've had Baker Boy cap on again, Topshop belt, same knit as yesterday with some many thermals underneath. Weekday jeans and church's boots again. So inventive with the outfits this time, guys. Okay, so on to the final bit now. In last place, I'm going to put the Vero Moda one. I've got fluff all over it. Just because I feel like it's the only one that actually doesn't look nice, as simple as that. The others look nice. This one, the sleeves let it down so much, which is such a shame, because I do, as I said at the beginning, really like the front section of it, and I love the idea of the sleeves. They just haven't been executed well enough at all, and the shape of them actually makes this look, I think, in my opinion, even cheaper than it is. And I feel like if they weren't like this, and if they were just like a normal sleeve, then it would have looked a lot more expensive than it was. So I'm regretting not having tried to find something with just a classic sleeve at the lower price point. And maybe I'll have a look if this brand does do a black blazer without this sleeve, and if it's available, I will link it in the description box, because I think if it didn't have this sleeve detail, it would be a perfectly fine blazer. By no means does it feel luxurious or anything like that, but I think it would be good for the price. But even though, as I said, it was great in theory, and I was really hoping this would be like a super cool one to wear in spring and summer with this cool sleeve, just to update the classic black blazer, it really just falls short of that. So that one's going to go in the last place, I'm afraid. In second to last place, I'm going to put the ZARA one. I mean, it's not cheap at all. There's threads coming off it all on the inside here, as you can see. I'm about to lose a button on the front. If I just like one tug of that, and that's going to come off, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. Oh, actually, both of the buttons are coming through. It's just not well finished for how much they charge for it, and it is such a shame, because I really love the light tortoiseshell buttons. I really like the texture running through the fabric. Those small details make it feel to the touch more luxurious, but then the finishing details are so incredibly poor, and this frankly is not a cheap blazer. The quality that the Vero Moda one doesn't have any threads hanging off it or anything like that. This is so much more expensive, and just the quality is just not there, and it's really just generally how I feel about Zara a lot of the time. That being said, I mean, it's so creased as well. I've been wearing this earlier today as well, but that being said, there are things I do like about it. The pointed lapel, as I keep saying. I think it isn't the best fitting one by a long stretch. In fact, it's probably the worst fitting one generally. So there's not that much I like about it, really, is there? The colour is what I like about it, but that's not enough to redeem the fact it's quite expensive, and you know, this isn't the kind of colour that you're going to wear forever and ever. It's a very seasonal piece in this colour, and I think it's still quite a lot for a seasonal piece that's also not the best quality. So yeah, I feel disappointed with this one, I suppose, but I do think it looks better than the Vero Moda one. I guess they're kind of in a close last place probably. In next place, the next three, I really like all of these. I'm going to put the Angela Stories one in next just because it is so much more expensive than the Mango one. These two are kind of at a similar level to me, and because this is priced so much higher, I'm going to put it lower down on the list. However, that being said, I'm about to really sing its praises. The shoulder pad's absolutely beautiful. The boxy fit is really nice. That's going to be personal preference. For me, I really, really like it. As I said at the beginning, the fabric has a really lovely feel to it. Not comparable to the Tibi one, but it's the closest comparison in how it feels, which does make sense in terms of the price. I love the fabric covered buttons, everything. It does feel like a really, really nice quality piece, and the fit of it's absolutely great. I just think, to say the Mango one, I also think looks absolutely lovely. And while it doesn't feel quite as expensive, I don't think there's enough of a difference in the feel and look to warrant quite such a big price difference. This is 100, was this 165, I think, which is definitely a lot. I really do love the colour though, and I mean, I think they do at the moment quite a lot of black blazers in Angela Stories, and generally if you're wanting to invest in a blazer, a black one, you know you're going to wear it loads, especially to work and things. Judging off this one, I think it would be a really good piece to go for a little bit of luxury, without it being, you know, like premium prices like the Tibi one. But the Mango one I think is great. Now, as I said, there are points of this that make it not feel quite as luxurious, the fabric being the main one. As I said at the beginning, I do wish this was woven through rather than a printed pattern on it, but generally the fit of this is really, really nice. The long lapel's really flattering. Again, it's got the shoulder pads in. It just makes such a difference in a Longline blazer having shoulder pads, guys. It hasn't got the vent at the back, which again, it's preferable to have a vent in the back in my opinion with them, but this is a beautiful blazer. I think it looks really, really nice on, and for the price difference, I would say you're getting something. This doesn't look like it's £100 more. How much was this one again? Was this one £70? So yeah, this is more or less £100 more. There is a difference between them. This does feel more luxurious, but I don't think it's £100 difference personally. So I'm going to put this one in second place. Which leaves in first place the Tibi one. I knew the second I tried this on, this was going to win. And maybe this comes from the fact that I'm such a big fan of a Longline blazer that for me, investing in them is absolutely worthwhile. Things like this and loafers are things where I think when I've done loafers in the past, the premium ones have always won, because for me it's just one of those pieces that I know I'm going to wear so much, so worth investing in. And this one, I absolutely love this one. For spring, I'm going to wear this so much, which is what I always want to feel like, obviously, when you spend such a sum of money on something. It does just feel different to the rest. Maybe it's the silk in it, which does give it a lovely, lovely sheen as well. I took a photo with flash. I wore it on a night out a few weeks ago, and it really picks up that sheen, which you can't really see so much here, but just makes it feel so luxurious. The texture, the colours, which I think are really different. I haven't really seen this colourway. We've seen so many check blazers everywhere, but I've not really seen this colourway before. Just everything. The fit of it, the buttons, the detailing, it's just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful blazer, and I literally couldn't be happier with it. So yeah, that was everything, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Once again, I'm really sorry to not have been able to share some spring styling here, and the weather has got the better of it. I hope you enjoyed it all the same. I'd love to do a shoe one next, so let me know what type of style of shoe you might like, or anything in general. I also really want to do one on bras. I get asked that a lot. I'm just trying to think of a way to do it tastefully, so leave that one with me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.